Hi, I'm the storyteller, and today I'm going to tell you a nice story. Once upon a time, there was a family whose names were Dad, Nevea, Arteja, and Arneja. Okay, let's start the story. Dad and Nevea were taking the twins to school. They dropped them off, then Dad and Nevea left and went home. When they got home, there was an unsuspected surprise waiting for them. Let's see what that is. Mr. Smiley, the dragon, swooped into the house and took Dad and Nevea to the realm of Playland. Dad and Nevea were put in a dungeon and chained up.
We were waiting after school for Dad and Nevea to pick us up. We were waiting for a long time, so we knew that something was wrong and that they were probably captured by Mr. Smiley, the bad dragon.
They have special necklaces that send them to a different world when they tap it. After tapping the necklace, they find themselves transported to the enchanting realm of Playland, where adventures await around every corner. They saw Mr. Smiley, the dragon, flying in the sky. Dragon said something to the twins. Let's see what that is.
In order to get my gold and your dad and sister back, you both have to go on this quest.
We agreed to the quest to save our family from the dragon and get the gold. The first part of the quest was to go to Butterfly Land. We transformed into a mystical unicorn and a magical bumblebee, then tapped on our necklaces and teleported to Butterfly Land.
In order to complete this quest, they needed to capture the Queen Butterfly. Who was the most beautiful and biggest butterfly in all the land? A human butterfly gracefully approached them and spoke with kindness and said this:
If you want to capture the queen butterfly, you must do these 3 steps. 1. Collect pollen from a special flower that all the bees love. 2. Mix it with your magic to make a special nectar. And lastly, 3. Make a trap and capture the queen butterfly.
After saying that, the human butterfly flew away. Okay, let's see how the twins trapped the queen butterfly. Arneja says, I am a bee so I can get the pollen and make the nectar. Arteja agrees and stays at the spot they started in Butterfly Land. As Arneja sets off to find the flower, she sees it but can't get to it because there were a lot of bees surrounding the flower, and so Arneja had to use her powers to talk to the bees and get the bees away from the flower. It worked. The bees, instead of taking the nectar, they helped her get the nectar. Arneja came back with the nectar and gave it to Arteja. With her magical powers, she made a bowl appear. Then Arneja poured the nectar in the bowl. Then they hooked it up to a trap which they had already made. And after, they started looking for the queen. Okay, I will tell what happened next. They knew that she liked a special flower and saw the queen bee there. They started to set up the trap to capture the queen. While setting up the trap, a worker bee saw them and told the queen. She flew near Arteja and Arneja and asked them,
What are you doing here?
They had shock on their faces because they didn't know how easy it could be to get this close to the queen. Arneja used her powers to speak to the queen and asked if they could use her army of bees so they could get the dragon's gold and their sister and dad back. The queen thought about it and said,
Yes, I will help you.
Arteja and Arneja were happy and had a celebration and ate yams, chicken with honey, and rice. After a good night, they all went to bed. Okay, I will say what happened the next morning. Arneja and Arteja woke up from a good sleep and were ready to defeat Mr. Smiley, the dragon. They clicked on their necklaces and went to play land with the army of bees. When they got there, they marched to Mr. Smiley's castle. Once at the door, they were ready to fight. However, when they opened the door, no one was there. The army looked frantically for Mr. Smiley, the dragon, until Mr. Smiley came out of the blue with their sister and dad and told them to defeat him in order to get the gold, dad, and sister back. They accepted the challenge, and after a fierce battle they all defeated the dragon. Arteja and Arneja became heroes of Playland and went home and tried to have a normal life. Okay, that's the end for today. Let's meet again in another story.